So I figured out a free-to-play build for doing Howling Desert with the Tikwas, Braves, and Fanatics, as well as the Red Mark Infiltrators. Basically, the challenge is to empower the Tikwas with increased attack speed, and they just get really destructive. And the cost of casters and supporters are sky high, so doing an AoE caster is out of the question because they'll be like 90 cost. Squad size 7 operators, max life points reduced to 1. So this is generally the free-to-play build here. It doesn't really matter. You just need somebody who can duel somebody for an extended period of time. That could be anybody really, and I have Estesia here because I don't have Moose ready. So I would probably do Moose instead, because Moose has a little bit better dueling potential. But since I don't have Moose, I'm just kind of using Estesia as a filler. You could also probably do Gravel. Gravel would probably work. Matterhorn's basically necessary to just barely survive the first wave. Perfumer, Ansel, and Gavial also to just heal. Secondary is going to be, you need a friend Exu, level 90, just absolutely maxed out the wazoo. The downside here is friend Exus will not get potential bonuses, so you won't have potential bonuses from friend Exus. Whereas if I use my own Exu, I have potential bonuses from pot 6. So I have increased DP cost, I have increased talent bonus here. So all of this stuff is very core to allow Exu to perform on this map specifically. If you're using your own Exu and it's like maxed like mine is, then it should just barely clear everything. But friend Exus, they will just barely not clear things. So that's where you need a little bit of accommodation here. So exactly at 13, you have to deploy Exu. No ifs, ands, or buts here because she needs as much damage as possible. This guy will survive the first section because he just will not take enough damage. And so this is where you have to first set up your operators here. Now second Ansel. Now I'm not too worried about this first guy because Exu will have her skill up and Matterhorn will only take a little bit of stacks. You could just kind of delay by using Gavial here and just have Exu just blast him, save Matterhorn some stacks, and then you're good. And now save Gavial and put down like Perfume here. And Melantha. Now the second guy, this is the problem one, so you kind of want to have Matterhorn pop his skill as soon as possible, and then get everybody here healing him up. This first guy's a problem if you don't, if Matterhorn has stacks, then he'll have no defense. So that's the main reason we gotta make sure he survives the first wave. Now with the first Tikwa Braves kind of coming down here, and Melantha has her skill charge, and she should just completely wreck the guy. You could hold on to the skill and have her do more to both of them, but you have to kill this guy as soon as possible. Now this first guy will die to Exu's super speed. Ansel's in very dangerous range here because Ansel's going to be taking the full brunt of everything. Now I'm not really too concerned about this wave here because Exu has her charge skills. I will block this guy though with Gavel, just so Matterhorn doesn't get attacked much. Now we have the first problem part here, where this guy will go down to the bottom section, and this guy will go down to the top section. So Exu will not be able to damage this guy at all, which causes a huge issue there, and this guy will go on to Melantha, and Melantha can only do one person at a time, and another Tickle Brave will come down the bottom lane at the same time that this guy will come. So we have two issues here of we have to get rid of this guy and we have to get rid of this guy. So this guy, Matterhorn, can take no easy. So we just have to deal with this guy right now. So that's the main issue, and the best option here is just going to be make sure Ansel survives. She's very close to just getting blasted. Hold on to Melantha's skill, just let her kind of go out of this. And so Matterhorn's just going to be tanking all three of these guys. And so Gravel is a one block, and so this is where we have to use her on the bottom. Make sure that this guy gets blocked by Gravel, and then Melantha can deal with the Tickle Brave. Because if the Tickle Brave is not blocked by Melantha, there goes a lot of DPS. So now that this guy's in range, I'm just going to use Gravel. And then just pop Melantha's skill. Make sure Melantha can just get rid of this Brave as soon as possible, as well as this guy, because we're basically stuck on Matterhorn until we can retreat somebody, and we can't retreat anybody bot lane until these guys are dead. So now we have just these two going at it down here. And now we have the big problem here, where everybody's now taking tons of damage. This is why it's really hard to deal with this guy, just specifically because now Sandstorm's here, and the snipers are still alive and everything. So we're kind of in this really annoying spot now, where we can't kill anybody because we don't have enough DPS top lane. That's really the big issue there. So the only really way to fix this is to make sure you make the most out of Gravel and swap out Ansel for somebody who can deal with the snipers. And this is where we have to get in a secondary element here, which is probably like a AoE caster or something, or another duelist. And this is where yeah, it's really annoying because there's so many duelists that you need to pull out. I'll just put in Amiya because she should be fine here. And I'll once again just use a friend Exu. Friend Exu is not my favorite here, but whatever, I can't really deal with it. So with this should work just fine. It's going to be slightly different because we can't use certain skills here, but if proper use of Gravel should enable Exu to have all her procs. So first I'll deploy Melantha so she gets the Exu buff right off the bat, and I'm just going to have Gravel tank this guy instead of Matterhorn. Matterhorn won't really have a skill up early, but using Gravel I can just block a dude. So now we have Matterhorn. Place him down, make sure he starts to get his skill. And now we can just block with gravel and make sure Madhorn doesn't take the debuffs. Wait for Exu to get her skill. Now this is the first phase where we just kind of got to block with gravel once again. Make sure Madhorn doesn't take a lot of stacks. Wait for Exu to get her stuff. Just retreat gravel this time, and then we're just going to block with Madhorn. Oh, she does heal a little bit every time she hits. So by doing this, I should be able to mitigate some of the problems here. And then I can actually block this guy using gravel. Unfortunately, Exu's just completely ignoring this guy. Okay, there we go. That guy's down. And now we have a really good opening here. So now Melantha's free for this guy, and then, well, we don't hardly have a minute here for Amiya, because these blocks are almost dead. But this time, because all the snipers are dead due to just Amiya camping them, I don't really have to worry about that much. So I'm just going to retreat Melantha because she doesn't need to be used here. I'm going to keep Exu up just because I just need to stall right now, because if I can get Amiya up, I can just put her down. In this case right here, let's get her down as soon as possible. I just hate the X2 just can't do any damage. It's the big problem here. There we go. And that's really the bare minimum here, is you just need somebody who can duel basically everything. In this case, Melantha, really good for bottom lane. You need somebody who can just kind of heal and duel. Emi is kind of good for that. Emi also does a lot of damage, and plus I invested a lot into her. So she's technically free to play. It's just, yeah. So that's really the option here for Howling Desert.